Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys, and welcome to episode 33 of All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast. Diz, good to have you here.
Great to be here with you, mate. Fresh off the back of a week away.
I've been away, yeah. Got out of Adelaide, which was nice.
Yeah. Just a little using up a bit of leave. You a bit run down at work or something, were you? Or?
Oh, look, just go out, get a bit of sun, relax, do a little bit of fishing.
Yeah, you look a bit more tanned.
Yeah, did a bit of surfing.
Did you?
Got a surface tan, you know.
Got green rooms.
Couple of green rooms on my Malibu.
Good man. Righty, who we got today?
Richard from Lazy Fisho. He's a great fella. We met him down at How's Your Tackle at one of their barbecues or something? I think we met him.
It was, yeah. It was actually the Boat Squidders catch up that How's Your Tackle hosted.
It was too, yes. So he's got a great range of gear and he's a passionate fisherman. So we'll talk to him in a little bit, which will be good.
You know what I liked having you chat? Just a bit of a teaser. Richard's done a very broad range of fishing.
He has. He knows a bit of everything, doesn't he?
Yes, and clearly loves a good fishing trip, which we are, number one, jealous of, and number two, aspire to be doing.
So we might put him on our list of people to contact.
Yes, absolutely.
When we're organising these trips.
Yeah, I reckon. Rhodey, oranges and lemons, mate. Let's get stuck into it. The fortnight that's been, what's been your highlight?
Well, look, it was good to get out of Adelaide. Went up to Noosa, got some sun, bit of surfing, played golf, went out on a fishing charter.
Beautiful.
6 of us on the charter. Half day.
Good?
Yeah. Old fella and his kids from Victoria.
Oh.
And a plastic, they were, in their 20s, their kids.
They'll be glad they got up there before this.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They were up there for a while. They could still be up there potentially.
Okay.
And a doctor from Melbourne as well. So I think I probably caught the most fish. No surprises there.
Standard.
So 3 school mackerel was my tally of take-home fish.
Tasty?
They were pretty good. Dad caught a snapper. Nice snapper. I didn't know you got snapper up that far north, but you do.
Yeah, okay.
Caught a few mac tuna.
Yeah.
Didn't keep them. Apparently they're cat food.
Oh, cat food, okay.
No long-tail tuna that we were looking for. Had a couple of good runs, whether they were sharks or Spanish macs or whatever they were. We didn't get any of them to the boat.
Dang it.
But good to get away and do a bit of fishing in some warmer weather.
Yes.
Diz, what have you got for your orange?
Well, Rhodey, the SA Angler magazine, Brett and Shane Mansforth, very appreciative of them for putting our article into the latest edition, weren't we?
We are. Still a bit flat that Archie stole the front cover.
Archie probably deserved the front cover. But look, all in all, good feedback, I think, internally.
Yes.
And externally.
Yeah, we've been wrapping ourselves up a lot, so the internal feedback's been great. I know Lucy has had several requests at work for signed photos.
Copies.
She was pretty rapt. She got her picture with her nannies in there.
Yes, and
so she's been a celebrity in the workplace.
Brilliant. And the lovely Chinese man that I purchased 4 copies of the SA Angler magazine was absolutely gobsmacked. First of all, that I bought 4 copies, and then second of all, when he realised that I was buying 4 copies because we were in there.
Well, all I know is I've got a few, family birthdays, and I think Father's Day must be coming up before too long.
I've actually told him if he doesn't sell them all, just tuck them all aside for
There's
us.
a red hot chance that every birthday for the rest of the year gets a signed copy.
Yeah, I agree. But I tell you, he was a lovely guy, but boy, he was flat that I didn't get as much of a run as you did on the photos.
Yeah, Pez has pointed out, one of our good mates has told us in no uncertain terms that I hogged the limelight.
Yeah, I think next time I might be in charge of sending the photos.
I would like to point out that all I did was send through a range of photos, and I can't help it if Shane and Brett think I'm a better looking bloke than you did. You're just going to have to cop that.
Brett and Shane were like, why are there so many photos of Brody in here? No, it was good, Brody, but let's move on to a bit more of a sour note for the lemons this fortnight gone. For yourself?
Yeah, well, look, on this Noosa holiday, we were trudging along the beach, walking along the beach at about 4:30 one afternoon, early on in the trip.
Yeah.
Sun sets there very early in Queensland.
Yeah, they don't get daylight
5:30 and it's dark. It's pitch black, 5:30.
It's really bright early though, isn't it?
It's a weird sort of...
Like 5:30, 5:45?
Yeah, but anyway, so it was 4:30, sun was about to go down and we walked down the hill onto the beach. A little bit of splashing. Oh, what's that? Bit more splashing, birds diving.
Ooh.
Tuna.
Oh, you're kidding.
They would have been no more than 200 metres from the main beach at Noosa. Heaps of them.
Wow.
Just out of casting range, I reckon.
Okay.
So frantically
looking.
I needed a drone. I was frantically looking for a hire kayak. The van on the beach was shut up shop. Couldn't get one. What do? All right, we'll come back the next morning. The weather was horrible the next day. Then didn't see them in the bay again.
Spewing.
Did see them off the national park.
Okay.
Tuna, you could see schools of them out off a few of the points.
Yeah, okay.
Did try and balloon a bait out, which a few people had said was a potential way of getting into luck. The wind was not quite right.
Okay.
Just was a little bit offshore, but didn't have enough strength in the breeze to get it out past the waves, really.
Did you take all the tackle or just buy some up there?
I took a rod and a little bit of gear, but I did venture into Tackle World Noosa.
Okay.
And the boys in there helped me out, so did
Good on
try and balloon a bait out.
Yeah?
No luck. So no luck on the kayak tuna or the balloon tuna. But I did point out to Dad that it would be a great place to take a drone.
Yes. Is it normal for them to get the big tuna run through there this time of year?
Yeah, I did a bit of research and they did talk about getting them off some of the headlands.
So the Tackle World boys were sort of...
Yeah, they didn't think I was stupid.
No, they were happy with your gear?
Reasonably.
Yeah, fair enough.
So anyway, wasn't unheard of, but it would be great. I did did talk to the bloke who hired out the kayaks on a subsequent day, and he showed me some pictures of a couple of tuna blokes who got a few weeks earlier. So it's not unheard of, but
not unheard of.
Certainly a lemon not to get them.
Yes, yeah.
It's always hard seeing a fish and not being able to get it.
Yeah, it is.
Just out of reach.
Frustrating.
What's your lemon, mate?
All right, well, my lemon is quite fresh off the press, as they say. We are disappointed about the COVID lockdown, which has happened for our Victorian comrades.
Yes.
And we really hope that it doesn't transition across borders to affect anything in our own state, and we are sending our best to all the affected people in Victoria. And I'm concerned about the footy, Roddy.
I was about to say the footy's a big concern of mine, so let's hope it doesn't interfere in the season too much.
Yes.
And let's hope they can get it under wraps and get back on with things over there, because they've had a tough 12 or 18 months, really.
They have.
My sister from Melbourne was supposed to be coming over tomorrow, so that's obviously not happening.
Oh, jeez. She obviously got back before any of this.
Yeah, she did, but she's got a week off work, so she was going to come over again to Adelaide. But
yeah, she's in lockdown.
Not to be. And I don't know if fishing's excluded from this lockdown. I suppose it probably is. It's not one of those 5 reasons to leave the home.
No, yeah. Sammy Newman won't be too happy. No golf.
So that'd be the worst thing, really. You're stuck at home, can't work, can't do much.
Yeah, no good.
But then you can't go fishing or have a hit of golf.
No good. Yes. All right, Brody. This is big, mate. The merch. We've had quite a few orders.
Yes, we have sent off the order for this lot of jumpers. We have well over 40 orders.
Yeah.
Very impressive, Diz, from our listeners and fans.
Yep. No, I like
So thanks for getting on board. They will be here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The good news is, if you haven't got one, get in contact still, because we are certainly not ruling out a second order in a couple of weeks.
No, we're not, and we're gonna see the process of this.
Yep.
See how long it takes, and then if the timing's right, we'll get another order in this
winter.
winter.
If you do want one, please get in contact, because that was the positive about Estuary Clothing Co. One of the positives.
Yes.
They don't need a big order.
Yeah, that's right.
So we don't need too many people to want one to put through a second batch.
Yeah, no, that sounds good, mate. And as per our last post, you'll see there is still absolutely some caps, stubby holders, and stickers available. So if you want to bulk up your order of maybe the next lot of jumpers, or you just want to get your mitts on some merch, hit us up.
Yes, they're great gear, all of them, Diz.
Absolutely, mate.
All right.
Into the news, Rhodey. You've been burying that noggin of yours in the books again.
Yes,
And you've come up with some good gear this week.
Now, as we've mentioned previously, I love that the Marfac is now releasing I don't know if I'm saying this right, but is it a communique?
Yes, a communique.
Communique. That's as it's written. So they had a meeting on the 11th of May.
Mm-hmm.
Among the discussions, which we'll go on to in a little bit, was the results of the public consultation of the rec fishing strategy.
Yes.
So that closed on 30th of April, and the Marfac has considered the feedback, and they've actually released a draft document. They've released a bit of a summary, so that's great. That's published on the Marfac website if you want to have a good look.
Yeah, I'd suggest getting on there and having a bit of a read. Yeah,
definitely. So that does mention that, a lot. You can read through all the comments, and there was plenty in there. There was plenty of comments about the idea of a fishing license or a registration of some sorts. And they do mention in this document that the plan does not propose to establish a license or registration, but more so an investigation of funding and resources.
Yes.
But I suppose people might have jumped the gun a little bit and gone straight into the fishing license, because that is something that's on everyone's minds at the moment, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Other things to note is that there's some advice. They've provided some advice for the Minister for Primary Industries and Regional Development in relation to the upcoming election of 4 members onto the Marfac, as we spoke about with Lee Van Soest. So Diz, make sure we'll keep a close eye on that, won't we?
Yes, well, Lee is exceptionally good at sharing all of the happenings of the Marfac.
Yep.
And we like that.
Certainly.
So it's really good to have Lee on there.
Certainly, they are still monitoring the risk involved with the dolphin sanctuary, and also that yellowtail kingfish need to be kept an eye on.
Yes, well, it's a hot topic, isn't it, Rody?
Yes, and it talks about some points for future discussion. So it's talking about how they can get involved in the application for a boating, camping and facilities fund federally.
Yes.
Also talks about the Marfac supports that both recreational fishing should be recognised as both a sport and a recreation.
Yeah.
Talked about the World Fisheries Congress, which we did talk about for September 20 to 24 this year.
Yes.
And talking about continued research in association with SARDI and the University of Tasmania. So that's sort of what they've got in the pipeline for Marfac.
Yeah.
So that's interesting and good that they do keep us in the loop.
Yeah, it is. And I just, interestingly, out of that document, they did
This is the the results of the public consultation we're on to now, Diz? Yep.
Yes. Well, it was the question towards the end of that survey about how they'd like, or how you would like to be informed about the happenings of the Marfac.
Yes.
Email, 22%, 93 responses. Bait and tackle shops, 78. Clearly, people like us just enjoy visiting
hanging out in tackle shops,
getting your latest news. And the Marfac website, 75, followed by Facebook, newspapers, face-to-face, and recreational fishing clubs was another small percentage of people, amongst some others which you'll find on that document. But I did find it interesting that bait and tackle shops was really quite high up there.
Yes.
Which is good, because they can be a very good source of information about the happenings in the recreational scene. We know that from the guys down at HYT, don't we, Brady?
So probably, yeah, you do. But the thing that jumps out at me from that particular part of the survey, did people not get their news from South Australia's #1 podcast? Surely that would have been a top 5.
True. Actually, we should. I didn't actually have a really good. Why didn't we put that?
Well, I thought I did put that in my response, but I can't find it. So maybe they've edited that out.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I put that podcast in there as well.
Anyway, there are lots of comments that you can read. There is a lot of people saying I'm strongly for a recreational license. There's lots saying I'm against a recreational license.
I think we got included in news media, including online and TV, not just print.
So anyway, a lot of people have just jumped onto the recreational license debate on this, but as we talked about earlier, it was a wider... They were asking for more than that.
Yes, they were.
So jump on the Marfac website, have a look, and see what you think. I thought, there was a lot of things that people agreed with.
Yeah.
Primarily. And, yeah. Anyway, have a read. See what you think.
I'd agree. All right, Reddy, let's move it along, mate.
Yeah, Diz, let's talk about this next one. This is interesting, I reckon. The carp electro-fishing in the torrents.
Our old stomping ground.
That's really where we cut our teeth as Adelaide anglers, didn't we?
Yeah, that was when we couldn't get away either on the weekend or we had a bit of time after school or something. We ingrained ourselves in the Torrens community. And
between, our, let's say 8 or 10 of our mates, how much better could we have done at year 12 if we hadn't gone to the Torrens in the afternoon?
I tell you what, Ross Gates would have done a hell of a lot better. And you won't mind me saying that either.
I think half of us spent more time fishing for carp on the Torrens than we did doing our homework for a while there. So
absolutely.
Anyway, they are going to basically zap the carp.
They are.
Electro-fishing. So they'll send an electrical surge into a small section of the water. Mm-hmm. That then causes the carp to be stunned and float to the top.
Yes.
And you pick them up and they're out.
Gonski.
Interesting, isn't it?
Well, it is. Look, I think it's a good program because naturally they're only then collecting the carp because they're suggesting that any unintended species or targets would be able to swim off safely.
Yes, I wouldn't have thought there's too much other than carp living in the dirty torrents though.
No, but
they do get some natives higher up.
Yes, yeah, but there's other matter and creatures in the torrents.
Yes. So that is going to cost $30,000.
Mate, think about all those poor shopping trolleys that are going to get zapped.
So $30,000 project, and they're hoping that it will be repeated annually over the next 6 years. And it'll be 10 electro-fishing events targeting carp all around the year.
Yeah.
So the most recent survey, I don't know how they really figured this out, but found that there were around 1,300 carp living in the Torrens Lake. And they're saying that's about 260 kilograms of carp per hectare. And they're hoping to reduce that to 80 kilos per hectare.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I'd say that's pretty hard to know exact numbers on.
Well, absolutely.
And as they have talked about doing it every year for 6 years, but if you then stop, you'd imagine the numbers climb pretty quickly.
How many times have you heard carp referred to as resource hogs?
Miss Dorr. Carolyn Dorr from Green Adelaide Water Projects. Carp are real resource hogs. Well put, Carolyn.
We like that. All right, Rody. Anything else breaking out of that little news story?
Nah, look, I reckon that'll cover most of it for the Torrens for today, Diz.
Excellent. All right, what do we got next, mate?
We are going to move. It is across the border into Victoria, but it's not far across the border into Victoria. And it does have a relation to South Australia.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about Portland, Diz.
Yes.
So there's been a disease, Diz.
Barrel Town.
Yes, and that's why it's of such interest.
Yes.
So wild abalone caught off Cape Nelson have tested positive for a disease called abalone virus ganglioneuritis.
Oh,
I've heard of that. That's a big word, and I hit it for 6. So this disease, according to the Victoria's Chief Veterinary Officer, it affects the nervous system of the abalone, neuritis. That's where that comes from.
Yes.
Results in curling of the foot and swelling of the mouth, leading to weakness and death, with about 90% of affected abalone dying. Oh. So they've said that this article says there are no known risks to human health and abalone remains safe to eat. Mm-hmm. So they did open up a control area. You can jump on the website, on the Victorian Fisheries website, had a good map.
Yes.
And it covers quite a big area around Portland.
Yep.
And they banned fishing there.
Wow.
No fishing from shore or boat, no commercial fishing or anything, basically.
Bit of a disaster, isn't it?
So that was, you couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Goodness me. Not good.
That's now changed, yes. So
Okay.
that's what they went to.
Yes.
That's been revised.
Yes.
Which is great.
Okay.
Because as you talked about, they're big on the barrels down at Portland.
Yes, they are.
And we know a lot of South Australian blokes that do go over there and get barrels.
Yeah.
So line fishing without sinkers is now allowed in the controlled areas.
Mm-hmm.
All other restrictions remain in place. So you can't bottom bash. You can trawl for tuna.
Okay, happy days for the barrel hunters.
The barrel season is back on at Portland, and that's pretty recent news, I believe it is.
Flacky will be chuffed.
He will.
Shout out to Flacky.
And I think they had a Portland tuna comp that they had originally decided to cancel or postpone, and that's now back on.
Yeah, good news.
So that also does relate to South Australia in another way, apart from those that want to cross the border and hunt some barrels.
Yeah.
But they've put in an increased restrictions on abalone.
Okay.
So David Basham has said restrictions on fresh abalone products coming into South Australia have been introduced to help keep South Australian waters free of this abalone killing virus.
Okay, all right. Do we have any sort of knowledge of where this virus starts and how it spreads?
I don't know, but it's currently, as well as Portland, there are other places across Victoria and New South Wales that are affected.
Okay, obviously it's quite rapidly spreading.
And basically, there's restrictions on all interstate live, wild or farmed and fresh abalone into South Australia from interstate.
Yeah.
There are some exemptions. You can jump on the personal website and have a look.
Yes.
But basically, there's very strict restrictions about transporting, keeping and disposing of abalone and abalone waste by fish processors.
Yeah, okay.
So it sounds to me like even, a abalone that's been cleaned and whatever else, the offcuts could potentially spread.
Okay, well, there you
So
go.
you're only allowed to bring preserved abalone in sealed packaging into South Australia from interstate, i.e. canned or cooked product.
Yes.
So no raw abalone to be brought over the border. And no abalone sourced from interstate can enter an aquaculture farm or South Australian waters. So that would be a disaster if we get that over here.
Yes, no bait or burley.
So,
either. Can't be used.
So while that is a Victorian story, it relates to SA fishing in a couple of ways. That is.
Yeah, well done for paring it back. I suppose the thing now is you're not getting it across the border anyway, really, are you?
Actually, COVID could be perfect.
It could.
It's basically just putting an end to this risk of the abalone virus jumping across.
Trash is another man's treasure, mate. Good news.
Positive of COVID.
Interesting.
Could be the only one.
Yeah. All right, Rhodey, there's some closures coming which are imminent.
Yep.
And we need to talk about them because we do regard ourselves as a highly informative podcast.
Yep. So just a reminder, we're basically at the end of May now. And that signals...
Just for those of you who didn't know that what today's date was.
Dizzy, do you actually listen? Do you look at the downloads on this podcast?
Oh, okay.
Occasionally we get someone listen to this podcast months and months out of date.
Well, I can't help it if they don't look at the date, mate.
So I'm just talking for them. So as of the date of recording this podcast, it's basically the end of May.
For our loyal listeners
who go back 3 months and listen to past episodes.
Yes.
Anyway, Goolwa Cockles close on June 1.
Yep.
And Southern Rock Lobster closes 6 p.m. on the 31st of May.
Yeah, okay.
So no more crayfish, no more cockles.
Yeah, yeah.
And both of them open up later in the year, so that the cockles are closed until 31 October.
Yeah.
And the rock lobsters closed till the 1st of November.
I can't help but feel like we'll be spending a fair bit of time down the tackle store getting some bait this year, mate.
You don't reckon our cockle supply is going to last us through?
I don't know. I haven't had a deep dive or a good enough look at it.
Anyway, we know we can get some good ones down at Let's Go Fishing.
Absolutely, and I've seen a few posts on Goolwa Cockles saying don't bother. Small
Too
ones,
small? Yes.
hardly any, etc., etc.
Yes.
So, wouldn't bother.
All right, Diz, one more thing on the fishing news.
Yes.
David Basham, he's been busy.
Okay.
He has increased protection for the giant Australian cuttlefish over at Whyalla. In particular, there's a new 100-metre fishing exclusion zone off the coast of Point Lowly.
Okay.
So it's a trial closure between 14th of May and 10th of August this year. Obviously, that is to do with the giant cuttlefish, so no squidding, anything like that in that part of the world. So it's to protect the congregation for the mating that we've talked about in the past.
Yes. Yeah, well, they've clearly recognised there it's an important part of Whyalla's tourism and the state more broadly.
Yep.
And that's an effort you'd imagine just to protect that.
Yep. So there's a fishing exclusion zone 100 metres offshore, so it's basically stopping you from shore fishing around there.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, Rody. Well, there's some fantastic news in there, mate. You've done well.
Yes, tried my besties.
Excellent, mate. Let's get on to the next segment of our podcast, Rody, where we get a great opportunity to sit down and have a chat with our guest.
Yes, Diz. Richard from Lazy Fisho. Let's get him on the line.
All right, Rody, we're very lucky to be joined tonight by Richard from the Lazy Fisho. Fantastic to have you on, Richard. How you going, mate?
How you going? Well, guys, how are you going?
Yeah, we're good, Richard. Thanks a lot for coming on the show, mate.
My pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Well, Richard, let's get stuck into the 5 questions to start with before you can tell us all about everything you get up to throughout the week and in your fishing adventures. But let's start with your best fish, mate. Tell us what it was.
Yeah, look, that's an interesting one because I'm sure you've had lots of guests on there who go, it was, tuna because I was here and, GT because I was there. But for me, the best fish was this time, it was January last year.
Yeah.
In Canada. I was lucky enough to go over to Canada before COVID lockdown. Yeah. And I caught my first sturgeon.
Wow.
And they're just a beast, right? They just look like a dinosaur with spikes all over them, and they go hard. So we estimate sort of around that 7 feet, but we didn't bring it in to measure it, and the water's too bloody cold for me to get in and have a swim with it. So
that's a serious fish, Richard. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was a beautiful country. It had Canada on one side and America on the other side, fishing the Fraser River in the middle. It was sensational.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, wow. Was that like a bucket list trip, Richard, or something you've done on the regular?
My daughter moved over there, actually. So it was a trip to take her over, and so her and I decided it was something that we both wanted to have a crack at, and so we just went out and had a go. And it was out of season because they're traditionally a summer fish, and we're over there in January. So it was actually, we had to cancel 3 days because there was ice over the river.
I've certainly never had that cancel a fishing trip.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Richard, tell us about what's your favourite thing about fishing?
Mate, it's pretty to me. It's pretty simple. It's just that relaxation of it all. It's not necessarily the biggest, the smallest. It's just whether it's on the river, whether it's in the ocean. It's just that time out. That being able to switch off and relax and just have downtime. And the bonus is the fish that comes in. So for me, it's just pure joy of nature, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such it's amazing how common that is amongst all of the guests and everybody you meet through fishing, that they all just really do love outdoors and really enjoy getting out amongst nature and just enjoying what this great country's got to offer. So that's really good. And Richard, you must have a first fishing memory or something that got you into it. Was it that?
I grew up in country New South Wales, so grew up with cousins and my father obviously fishing. So from as long as I can remember, we could go out, catch callop, you call them in South Australia, we'd call them yellow belly. But yellow belly and carp and cod, as well as your yabbies and so forth like that. So as long as I can remember, we were always camping somewhere. And then once a year we'd have a trip down the south coast where we had other family, and then we'd get into places like Ulladulla and Narooma and stuff and catch snapper and bream and flathead and stuff that we didn't get to do out in the country during the year. So just grew up with it, loved it, and having fresh fish straight out of the water is just sensational.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like catching a feed, and it sounds like you did pretty well on a variety of species growing up, so gave you a good all-round fishing experience by the sounds.
Oh, mate, look, I was lucky. was very, very lucky, fortunate. Grew up with their family that loved being outside camping. Having a fire, and then you could hear the bell on the riverbank or something. You'd run down and hoping for a yellow belly in the security car. But it was great. It was awesome.
Yes. Now, Richard, tell us about what's your favourite sort of fishing these days?
Yeah, look, that's another good question. I think for me, it's a mix. Like I like. Really, at the moment, it would be, other than COVID lockdown, would be fishing North Queensland, where you've got the opportunity to top water.
Yeah.
So for your coralies and your GTs and so forth, and then jig during the day for red emperor and some really nice bread and butter fish that we just don't get down here in the south. So you combine both of those, spend 4 or 5 days out at sea on the Great Barrier Reef. That's the spot at the moment. I've been doing that for the last 5 years, and it's been sensational. Except last year.
Bloody COVID getting in the way of all the fun, eh? Oh, well, you'll be looking forward to getting stuck back into that. And Richard, on those trips you mentioned, or when you were growing up younger, you must have had a funny fishing story or one that got away along the line.
Look, I've got heaps, like everybody does, and depending on how much I drank, the stories always got better. For me, one of the funniest fishing memories for me is only a couple of years ago. I went with a heap of, when I say heap, there was 6 of us from South Australia. We went to Three Kings in New Zealand fishing for kingfish.
Wow.
And, you're dropping into 100 metres of water, and, it's like a pig grabs onto the end of your line and just heads for the fence. Like it's just like a freight train.
Yeah.
And the first day, I reckon I got cut off 6 times. Like the first one, I had the fish almost to the side of the boat after pulling up for 100 metres. And one of the guys, he did get the name Tangles. I will not give his name because he will probably listen to this. But I swear to goodness, I had, I lost a couple of $100 worth of braid and still didn't land a fish in the first day, because every time I got it close, somebody dropped their bait afterwards and just cut my line off. So, it's one of those things. I don't know whether it's funny, frustrating, or
all of the above.
It wasn't so expensive. You just pulled it over the side. But I was sore for the whole day and didn't land a fish. So I don't know what the story is with that.
And was that catching him on bait or lures, or what were you targeting with?
Yeah, mate, we did both. We did jigging and bait, but the majority of fish on that day, I think there was only two caught on jigs.
Yeah.
The majority were caught on either whole fish or whole squid, mate.
And were you lucky enough to get one in the subsequent days?
Oh yeah, certainly did.
And a big one, I imagine.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I don't think I've ever been so sore in my whole life, because when you get pulled into the boat and your toes, your knees, your thighs, everything is bruised, scum, and you look like you've been run over by a truck, and you're saying you're having a great day. Like, it's insane.
Oh, that's awesome, mate. Well, we'll might put that on the bucket list, Rody? Three Kings.
Yeah, once this COVID opens up, although New Zealand we can travel to now, so that might be our best bet.
Might be on.
Mate, it's worth it, guys. Yeah. If you ever get a chance, grab 4 other blokes or something and hire a boat out of the Three Kings. You sort of get a 14-hour steam on your first day to get out to it. So, it's a long way out, but it's well worth it. It's just insane. Yeah, it's insane.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks for answering those questions. Great to get a bit of an insight on what you've been up to, but let's move on now and tell us about the Lazy Fisho.
So Lazy Fisho, yeah. It's one of those things. I recall the Lazy Fisho probably 7 or 8 years ago, snapper fishing, where I used to just be too lazy. I'd throw the bait over and just leave it in the leave it in the side and wait for it to bite, and then I'd go, I'll get it in a minute.
Yeah.
That sort of stuck, and I was sitting in the shed airbrushing some lures one night, and I just thought, well, why don't I do something with this? And that's where it all came about. And, I started doing that. And then I thought, well, talking about the trips to places like Darwin and Cairns and New Zealand, I didn't quite have enough stuff in my tackle bag. So I sort of looked at what I had and went, well, how would I like this designed and what would that look like? Had a look at a couple of ones on the market, then went, no, it's not quite big enough. And and then I come up with a top water tackle bag and had plastic inserts put into it so that you can put your poppers and your stick baits in the side so they can fit more in. And because we don't take much clothes, right? At the end of the day, you go fishing for a week, you wear the same pair of undies for a
exactly
week.
Right.
So, sorry for everybody out there who thinks it's disgusting, but anyway, that's just the way it is.
That's right.
And anyway, so I sort of threw around a few designs and came back with one that I liked and tested it a couple of times on a trip to Cairns, and it sort of went from there. And then I went into airbrush some really rough stick baits and poppers and so forth, and got the designs I liked, and then sort of sent them away to get made. And that's sort of where it's evolving. I sort of look at something and go, what would I like, or what don't I like, or what would I like to change, and is there something out there? If not, can I change it? And I still haven't got it right, but it's just fun, that whole thought process around, can you do something, and if you can, who can do it? Because I certainly don't have the skill set to do all of those things, especially with sewing. It's just, I could probably do a loop stitch or something. Likely to put an FG knot or something in it and see how it goes. But, so it's been fun. It's been a great journey, a couple of years in now, and lucky enough to, have a couple of tackle stores in town and also up north that have supported me on that journey, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been sensational. I made a few mistakes like everybody does, but I think that's part of the course when you start something.
So Richard, it sounds like it started off as a bit of a hobby and has got more serious from then. It must be rewarding now to see a gap in the market, or see something and see a niche that you can jump on, or something you think can be improved, and then follow that through the design and getting it made, and then finally catching a fish on the lure or whatever you made. It must be very rewarding.
Oh, mate, it funny you say, it really is. I think, we talk about funny stories and all that sort of stuff. The first time I caught a GT on an airbrush lure that I did, that wasn't even really perfectly symmetrical. It was the first prototype I did with a bit of lead in it and a bit of epoxy holding it together. I was stoked, and I thought, there's something to this, and it sort of went on from there. And I've still got plenty of ideas. I've just got to, nail it, sort of to what I like and what the customers, will enjoy, and it's good value for money, because I think there's a lot of products out there, and a lot of the fishing stuff, to be fair, catches the fisherman, not necessarily the fish. So, I've got hundreds of stuff I've never used. But you know what? That's part of fishing as well.
Where do you think we got the name from? That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
And you're certainly right. There's a lot of crap on the market that's pretty poor quality, so it's worth. It's worth paying the bit extra for something that's going to work, I suppose, these days, isn't it? Because there is a lot of crap out there.
And I think that's a big thing, is that when you first start, you start with that. And that's great. I remember saving up to buy my first Abu Garcia reel when I was a kid, and now they're sort of everywhere and stuff, and I've got everything in between. But I've still got that original reel that I saved up and bought. It's got knocks and scratches and stuff like that. But I definitely believe that that little bit of extra, especially if you're going to go out a lot. If you're a once-a-year fisho, look, you can get away with just about anything as long as you're not targeting anything too big. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, fantastic. And so, with regards to the lures and stuff, do you do the design and then you get it sent off to be made somewhere else, or is it locally
That's
done?
Right.
How does that work?
Originally, I did them here in the shed, and I did that for a while. I'd love to have the time to be able to do that. I really would. But then that would then add to the cost of production and also how much the clients are paying for it as well. So I saw somebody that does it all the time, and all I did was airbrush a design and send it over and say, hey, duplicate this and send it back. Yeah. And it seems to work. I've had a couple that are, I've had products that I've got made from places even in Australia that I've got back, and I've looked at it, I've pulled it, I've gone out and tested it, and it just didn't float right, or it didn't swim right. And I've just gone, you know what, I'll just have to suck up that loss because I'm not going to sell non-quality products to my clients. So it is a learning curve. Understanding who you can get to do things and who you can't. But I mean, ultimately, I'd love to get it done in Australia. But again, it's that cost and what you can give to the client at the end of the day is going to be the right value for money.
Yeah, it's great that you're all about quality and you won't put your name or your brand to anything that's not A-grade quality. So we know you can trust your gear. It's great to hear, Richard.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it means a lot.
And tell us, Richard, your jigs and lures and all that, are they mostly targeted to sort of the northern species, or do they work down here on our local nannies and things like that, or? Yeah,
look, so the abalone jigs and the silver barbite, to be fair, anything that flickers, your nannies, I know we can't target snapper at the moment, but the abalone jigs did really well on the kingies at Port Augusta last year. Yeah. A few mates caught quite a few that were sort of, well, it's always hard to tell. You can say that they were 30 plus. I don't know. They're bloody big fish. Yeah. So let's just say they were well over 20. But the abalone and the silver did really well, around that 100, 150 grams. But again, it comes down to the current, and it comes down to, how far you're swimming and how deep the water is. But they're easy to use, and that's why I like that style of jig, because it's easy for swimming. That somebody who hasn't got experience, you don't have to sit there and spend 3 hours working out how to get it to move up and down. It'll swim with the slowest or the fastest of style of jigging. But yeah, no, I haven't gone down. I'm looking at some salmon designs at the moment off the beach. But I just haven't nailed the shape and the movement in the water that I want yet. So watch your space; it'll happen, but just not at the moment. So
sounds like
top of the stuff.
Sounds like we might have to add a couple of the Lazy Fisho jigs to the gear ready for the Port Augusta season, Diz.
Yes, well, we've sort of just, with some of our recent trips, now that we've got the new boat, we've been sort of doing a bit more fishing out off Althorpes and a bit further out now that we've boat can get us out there, and we've sort of got a bit into the jig fishing, haven't we, Rody? Did alright on Althorpes, did alright on KI.
Certainly good fun, and it's very rewarding catching something on a jig, which I'm sure you can understand, Richard.
Oh, look, it is fun. Look, I grew up bait fishing, so that's my default. If I can't catch anything on a jig, I'll go back to bait. Yeah. But the reward, it's a bit like going to soft plastics. It's that next challenge. Yes. That's the next thing. If that's if you want to have a bit of fun and you want to try something different, soft plastics, jigs, anything really that's different. I mean, I've caught tuna off Victor, with a flake wrapper on the end of it, when they're boiling up. So, throw anything in there. Yes. I've seen the spanner trick done at off Edinburgh on snapper. So, just about anything that's different is fun in my eyes.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah, and Richard, we do spend a bit of time talking about fishing news and issues which are arising in the recreational fishing sector. Do you have an opinion on the rec fishing licence?
Look, I do.
You don't have to share it, by the way, if you don't want.
I'm happy to weigh in and for people to sledge me, but I'm all good with that. Being a New South Wales boy, we had licences over there for years, right? And it was managed well. Yeah. And if you have a look around, I was a country boy, but if you have a look around, Sydney, Wollongong, that eastern seaboard where they've put, hooks into the side of the rocks to keep our rock fishers safe, and you can harness yourself and they protect the edge of the water and stuff like that. If it's managed well, I've got no issue with a fishing license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just if it's not.
Yes.
So smarter people than me have to work that out, right? But if it's used in the right way and they put back into the community and stuff, and we can actually see the benefit of it, then I have no issue.
I think you've summed it up well there, Richard. Certainly Victoria and New South Wales have had a licence for a long time and are a long way ahead of us in terms of stocking fish and all that sort of stuff. But as you say, the big question everyone has, I suppose, is how it's going to be managed and how it's going to be run. So I think if we can sort that out and get some sort of guarantee on that, then I think we're all for it.
Yeah, I agree. And Victoria have done really well. You look at where they've done, and they've put the clay and so forth and the mussels back into the water down there in the peninsula and cleaned it up for the snap. And they've got, they've got squid coming back in now and whiting. I mean, they've really done some great things down there.
Yeah. And have you got an opinion on the kingy situation over at Port Augusta, the netting for them? I'm sure you do, given you love to catch them.
Look, netting in general, people have got to make a living.
Yes.
So, at the end of the day, I think as long as things are managed, I've seen what it has done also to the netting in Barramundi up in the Northern Territory. And I think that it's one of those things that everybody has a right to make a living, but we have a right to protect the fish as well. And not only the fish, but the environment in general. So, if it's dragging along the bottom and it's lifting up all the seaweed and killing other fish and stuff like that. Look, I'm not an expert in this area by any means, but, you see the horror stories where they're dredging everything up. And, I can say I'm not a fan, of a lot of things that get killed that shouldn't get killed. So, again, we come down to what does it look like? How much can be removed? Is it going to be done safely? There's so many questions in there that aren't answered.
And is it being managed well, really? We keep coming back to that, don't we? And you're right, people need to make a living, and if we're all satisfied that it's being managed effectively, we don't have a problem with that, but certainly at the minute it doesn't appear that way by any means.
Well, that's, that's for somebody else that's smarter than me to work out. But, I'm just not... If there's not anything that's not done well, whether it's shooting, fishing, it doesn't really matter. If it's not managed correctly, then it's havoc and it's not good for any of us, right? We want to go out tomorrow and have another one. We don't want to end everything.
Exactly right. And so, Richard, moving forward, what's next on the agenda? Are you continuing to grow the range, or are you happy with where you're at the moment? Looking to go into more stores? Where's the direction that you want Lazy Fisho to head?
Yeah, great question. So for me, I want to continue to grow a few more products in the range. I don't want to have everything for everyone because that's you've got plenty of stores out there that can do that. But another maybe half a dozen to a dozen products that I know will work and will suit our market here and that will last. That's the thing. There's things that I've tested that just haven't lasted. I've gone, no, we can't do that. So ideally do that. I really, I've got 2 shops here that I work with in South Australia, and a couple up in Queensland and one in New South Wales. I really don't want to go into every store and all that sort of stuff because it's then comes down to quality control and all that sort of stuff. And again, if you're doing really high volumes and you can't control it, somebody's going to get let down, and I don't want to be the brand behind that.
Yes, we love what you're all about there, Richard. And so tell all of our listeners where you can find your gear. Those 2 shops are.
Yeah,
so South Australian base.
I've got stuff down at How's Your Tackle down at Christie's Beach. And up at Ray and Ann's in South Australia. If you're in store in either of those places, there is products there that you can touch, feel, pick up, pull apart, whatever you like, and you can get your hands on it. Or you can jump onto www.lazyfisho.com.au
Yes, two great independent tackle stores that we love all their gear in both of those stores. So it will be good that we can duck in and have a look. And as you say, it is good to touch and feel some of these things before you buy them. But we might have to get an order in for a couple of jigs. And
I think so.
I think we might need a new bag for the boat, Diz. It looks like it.
Just add it to all the gear.
We actually might need 2 or 3 of these bags, Diz, with the amount of crap that we try and take with us.
Just to carry all the stuff you're not going to take.
Pretty much.
Not going to use, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right, Richard. Well, thanks a lot for coming on the show and talking about all things fishing, telling us about your gear. It's been really informative, and thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Dear's great to hear from Lazy Fisho himself.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. A very well fished man.
Yes.
Love that he does fishing trips like to the top end.
Yeah. Certainly.
Queensland, then even international waters, mate. We love that.
Yeah, we're not that good on the international fishing as of yet, but I think that's on the cards once COVID wraps up.
Yes, absolutely. No, it was great to have Richard on and certainly check out his gear. But, Rhodey, we do need to move on to the fishing report. And I'm not going to lie to you, there's not a massive amount in this.
I'm not sure the weather's been great.
The weather has not been great.
So I'm sure there's a lot of people that haven't been out much.
But we do have a couple of points that are very much worth discussing, Rhodey.
Yes.
Tell us about your connection to someone who's done well in the metro scene. Was it metro scene?
Metro. So, Lucy's mate from work, Neil. Shout out to Neil if you're listening. I'm sure he will be. He loves the show. He caught a good-sized snapper, Diz, over at Point Turton.
Okay, yes.
Obviously, well targeting. I think he was targeting whiting.
Okay.
And he's a responsible angler, so I'm sure he had his release weight ready and got it back in the water safely.
Yeah.
But it's good to keep track of these. This would have been 75 centimetres, looking at the photo.
Ooh.
Good fish.
Good fish.
But it's good to see the reports of these snapper are coming through reasonably consistently.
It is good because it wasn't... This wasn't happening regularly.
I don't think so, but I don't know. We caught snapper last time we were over on Yorks too, didn't we? Around Port Vincent?
Yeah, we
probably caught 3 or 4. One would have been size.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're just keeping a bit of an eye on what our own opinions are on the snapper fishery.
It's good news though, isn't
So
it?
we're keeping an eye on it. He did get some whiting too, so there are whiting around Point Turton.
Okay, that's very good. Now let's move on to a fantastic photo. Some seriously keen anglers braving the absolute horrific weather that was the other day, with the salmon absolutely busting up, going nuts off the Port Lunga jetty road. You would have seen it?
There was a lot of them, wasn't there?
Yes.
And there were some bloody keen fishermen out there.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty ugly weather.
Very ugly weather. Lots of high-vis setups.
Yep, certainly.
And just jetty fishing at its absolute best, really.
Yeah.
And another thing, just on that, great friend of ours,
Yes.
fellow power supporter,
Can't the pair.
fellow Jack Daniels and Coke drinker. Dan, we love Dan's gear on Facebook. We love his salmon dance, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Interesting, but we like it.
Yep.
Strong grip on the salmon.
He wasn't dropping that thing, was he?
Not dropping that thing. But seriously,
He had a good video of it, didn't he?
yeah, where's your closest tackle store? Down to Port Lunga Jetty.
Let's go fishing.
Simple answer. Get down there, get yourself a couple of little silver bullets or, slugs.
Or get a pilly, couple of pillies.
Get a pilly, slug them out there, get amongst the salmon. They go hard, especially on light gear.
Yeah.
So,
Not only Port Noarlunga though, Diz, there has been plenty of, I think, bigger salmon down the bottom end of Yorks.
Yes.
And I also saw on the Kangaroo Island fishing group on Facebook some big fish being caught over there, big salmon.
Yes.
I'm sure over on the west coast as well.
Yeah, okay, excellent. Very
and you
good.
would also think the mullet would be coming in this time of year, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I reckon.
Marion Bay, Air Peninsula.
Yeah, that sort of, particularly if you are going to those hot spots for a bit of a weekend away, then pack the gear because you're going to get amongst them, aren't you?
Yeah, well, you certainly will.
Yeah. All right. And there's also, Rhodey, been some very good photos of some late season blue swimmers off a couple of jetties.
See, that's interesting, isn't it? Because what month are we in?
we're now in May.
No, in May.
Yes. What comes before May?
April. Are in April, so they're about a month late, aren't they?
Yes, they are. But what was Shane telling us? They were early this year.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's been a long season. Because, Shane Mensforth had pictures off Edithburgh early in the year too.
Yes.
So it's been a long season for the Blue Swimmer Crabs, but from our experience, I don't think it was a thick season, was it?
No, we were fishing it at the wrong time, but that's okay. I can't eat them anyway.
Fine, selfish. Anyway,
Crispy was catching some fish.
He got whiting
Brody.
Metro.
His new 1550 Stabby.
Yes, he loves it.
Shout
So
out
he
to
shared
you,
that
Crespo. Well done, mate.
And there's a smattering of squid basically everywhere by the sounds.
Yeah, I think so. It's that time, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think squid are a good species to target this time of year as well, Diz.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, mate. Fantastic. Well, look, I don't have anything else of note.
Nah, I think that's it for the fishing report today, Diz.
Because
So,
our guests know where to find the fishing reports, don't they?
Yeah. Where's that?
Well, you can find them in a number of places. Naturally, you'd listen to us every fortnight
Yes.
for the hot tips.
Just hit us up on Facebook. I'll send you a personalised fishing report if you want to ask for one. You tell me where you're going and I'll send you out a couple of tips.
Excellent. All right, let's move on. Tackle rat. Careful. Copyright. Yeah. Tackle item of the week, big guy.
Now, Diz, this was a little story I've got for you from this charter I went on off of Noosa.
Okay. Crossing borders again.
Yeah. So it's been a real sort of interstate show here, hasn't it?
It has. We are broadening our reach.
Yes. So this fella we went out with,
Yep.
he did rate the Queensland, the knowledge that they have up in Queensland.
Queenslander.
He
Is that what he was doing all day?
No, didn't do that one. But he did tell us basically that us Southerners, the Victorians, South Australians, he didn't actually know whether Melbourne was in South Australia or where Adelaide was. He'd never been out of Queensland, I reckon, this bloke.
Well, how did he not drop a big Queenslander?
Anyway, he had a nifty little way of storing your paternoster hooks when you're moving from spot to spot.
All right, talk us through it.
So what a lot of people do is, what do? You put the hooks on the eyelets of the rod, don't you?
Yes.
And then what happens with the sinker?
Well,
bangs around, bounces, or you take it off. It's a bit inconvenient. Or you hook your sinker around the handle of the reel, and then your hooks spin around everywhere and poke in the eye and all sorts.
Yeah, not good.
So this fella had an interesting way of doing it. 2 hooks in your paternoster rig.
Yes.
Hook them together.
Okay.
So they're joined.
Just clip them.
Hook to hook.
Yep.
Connected.
Okay.
The main line is then loose. The tension's through the 2 hooks on the paternoster rig.
Yep.
Then you wrap the sinker around the handle of the reel.
Okay.
So it means that the bit that's hanging loose, it's not the sinker, it's not the hooks, it's just the bit of main line that's dangling in the breeze.
Okay, so you've got to get that paternoster length right.
You have to, yes, you do. So you have to have a bit of length on the
in between
ends.
The
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
So it doesn't work if your length between the two hooks is not enough.
Okay, right.
So that needs to be longer than the distance the hooks are from the main line.
Yes. All right. Well, we hope we haven't confused you out there.
Look, I might
Maybe
actually,
do a video.
I might make a picture.
Yeah, good stuff.
We might
Would
share
help.
that on Instagram, Diz, because
we like that.
I'm not sure the listeners got that.
No, it's good. Well, maybe next time we're out on the boat, we'll take a photo.
Yeah, we will take a photo. We'll get you one on Instagram. But it was a good idea, and if you have heard of that, let us know, because we'll tell this old fella that he doesn't know what he's talking about, and everyone knows about it except for us.
Yes, beautiful. All right, Rody, where can the listeners find us?
Diz, make sure you are following us, liking us, whatever you want to do on Instagram, Facebook, all your big socials. Subscribe on all the podcast providers.
Absolutely.
So you get the episodes fresh as they come.
And if you're out and about on the water, just tag us in your adventures.
Yeah, keep us in the loop, guys.
Yeah, we love seeing it.
We also love a couple of reviews.
Okay.
So jump on, your Apple Podcasts, your Spotify, give us a rap, hopefully.
Yeah, yay or nay, big Y, or just put a Y or an N.
Give us 5 stars and a big Y. And we'll take that as a thumbs up, guys.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, thanks for listening, guys.
See ya.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.